Dear Diary, may the energy from this week bring many blessings to the weeks coming after. Welcome back to another week of my Creatives Audio and Visual Diary. I want to start this episode 10 by saying thank you. Thank you for coming back for another week. Thank you for coming for the first week to indulge me. When I was first thinking about changing my vlog style, I was very nervous. I was nervous because I feel like sometimes my voiceover content does not do that well. And I'm like, maybe people don't like the sound of your voice, or maybe people don't want to hear what you have to say. But I stepped into it because it's something that felt right in my spirit. I also had to recognize that the devil's successful playbook in muting voices and stunning confidence is successful for a reason. And I had to realize that was my attack on my life, trying to get me not to speak, not to create, and be in a way that feels genuine to me. Once again, thank you for being here as I create, reflect, and love through my audio and visual vlogs. And thank you for joining me for dinner. So I found this dish inspo as I was scrolling Pinterest, as I often do before I do the overall grocery shopping for the week. And I ran across this cream style, like chicken and sausage and seafood dish. And I was like, I can do that, but I can make it non-dairy because I'm trying to, eliminate some things on my diet that are working against my body. So I made it with a non-dairy cream cheese. I used spicy chicken sausage that turned out to be delicious, and I roasted some cabbage just because I was like craving it this week. And the whole dish, phenomenal, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I also got into Megan Sussex's new show on Netflix, which I love. I adore on Impact. I'm kind of a cooking show, lifestyle show connoisseur, so I was already looking forward to watching it. But I really love the conversations and content that came after that was inspired by this show. Black women showing their luxury cookware and showing, hey, we've been doing this. Like, just because, this black woman, this prominent black woman is getting the spotlight and the highlight, we've been doing this as a community, and I'm loving to see us come together behind her and beside her. So, if you've been keeping up with me, you know that Layla injured her hand playing basketball after school, not even in a real game. So, we had to go by urgent care when my niece was staying with us for a couple of days while her dad is out of town, to go get her hand checked out to make sure that nothing was fractured or needed any intervention for further healing. But unfortunately, the night that we went, there wasn't an x-ray tech there. So we got put on a schedule to come back the next day, which is today. And this is my mom for fit for being out in the street. I don't remember what else I was doing this day, but I just think it was going to take Layla to urgent care. But I have to be extra, extra for the extra. Her hand had been seemingly healing on its own just fine. Like I said before, most of the swelling had gone down. It was a tint of pinkness, but she was still having a little pain to the touch. So we're like, we don't know if there's something in there that's kind of, lingering, um, maybe being re-impacted when she's trying to do stuff. So let's just make sure for sure that nothing is in there, split or whatever. And thank goodness there are no fractures. They said that it might have been sprained or bruised, but it was taking the normal 2 to 3 weeks to recover and feel better. So they just advised her to keep wearing her splint, taking it easy on that hand, but also taking the splint off for more time as days pass to stretch out that finger, for it to recover so it doesn't get stiff and, kind of further the injury and make it last a little longer. I've been in a little rough spot with my hair lately because number one, I just don't feel like doing it. I don't have the energy to inspo or anything. But two, I've been working out so frequently and so intensely that my hair is completely drenched by the time I'm leaving the gym. So I'm like, my options are really limited. They really are. Like, even with wearing this wig, which I'm going to refresh and, clean up to wear for the next week, even with this, it's like it's getting rough even wearing this daily because it's like I said, I'm so out of it, my hair being out of it by the time I'm leaving the gym. I just don't know. So yeah, I washed my wig to get that refreshed for the weekend just so I can have or look presentable. I also washed and retwisted Layla's hair because we had a long weekend ahead of us. First, the BWP teams were competing in their championship games for our league this weekend, which the mids won their championship game, which was crazy. It was kind of sad because the littles had gone undefeated all season, only to lose in the championship game. And then the bigs game was just controversial all the way around. Like, I don't even want to go back into it. It was crazy. But that evening we had our family fancy dinner planned. We go out to dinner as a family every couple of months to an upscale restaurant. We get really dressed up. This evening we decided to make it a sneaker dinner, a little sneaker ball, if you will. And we headed up to King of Prussia to the Capitol Grill. And when we set these reservations, we always say that we're celebrating something. Now, we don't put anything specific because when we set it, it's usually like a couple months out, maybe 1 month out. But we say that we're celebrating something. This happened to be our championship win, but we don't know when we get there. It might be something else. It might be something small. It might be grades. It might be I hit all my goals for the week. It can be anything really, but we're really just celebrating life.
Well,
I
you are
love it
very
so much.
welcome.
I'm not even gonna lie and make this seem all
Some of
perfect and
my opinions, I'm
pristine
definitely not going to get it off.
because there was attitudes going around the table in circles. I mean, Maurice was upset because two of his teams lost in their championship games. Layla had a little toot of her own. I'm just sitting there trying to have a good time. Woo! On that Sunday, we had girls and littles practice, and I left straight from there to go to the flower show, which was like literally down the street with my sisters. We had just planned to break out of practice and, go enjoy ourselves, which I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad I went. This year was cute. It was, I don't know how to compare it to last year. I feel like they were different. This year felt a little bit more spread out. Although the installations were beautiful and breathtaking, it felt like it was less than last year. One of the main reasons I stopped by is this installation here. One of the girls that I'm connected with on my Instagram designed that, and she's usually a part of the flower show. She had been for at least the last year. So I was like, oh, let me go and support my girl. I noticed she has an installation there. So that was like top priority. But then when I was walking around, I saw these table installations, like these dinner table installations, and I was like, wait a minute. I did not know that this was a thing. I definitely want to be a part next year. Later that day, Layla had a workout with the Bells at Harcum College, where some of the Harcum students or players was working them out and having them play. It was such a great experience for them. They had such a great time. Sam was a little sick, so she could not achieve and perform to the best of her ability, but she was still playing out there like a dog. Like, could not even tell if you didn't know her that she wasn't sick, but we knew her and we knew that she was capable of a little bit more. She just was a little sick, that's all. And Layla did her thing. She was out there performing, making a name, making it known why she's on this team. Dear Diary, can't believe this is the first time I'm saying this to you. All video? Wow. Dear Diary, when I got home that day, I decided to make some meatball subs. When we were at the game, it was a Wawa nearby, and I had not eaten all day yet. And it was like 4 o'clock, and I was like, oh my God. And Maurice had mentioned Wawa, and the only sub I get from Wawa is a meatball sub. And I was like, you know what? I think I can make that and make it stretch too. So I got the ingredients from the supermarket, went straight in, started cooking because I was starving. And then when I was scrolling Pinterest, because something was like, just scroll Pinterest and see if you can get little ideas to take this up a notch. I'm seeing people putting banana peppers on their meatball subs. And I was like, wait a minute. This makes a lot of sense. Now, I am spreading our leftover cream spinach on a sandwich because that also makes sense. But the banana peppers, I said, wait a minute. That little tangy acidity with this decadent, heavy sandwich makes a lot of sense. Why did nobody tell me this? Why didn't nobody tell me this? Dear Diary, just like this sandwich, as I head into the next week, I'm still going to be unfolding and uncovering things that I don't know. New creative endeavors, new intellectual challenges. I'm looking to grow. As I said before, I'm still looking to grow. But most importantly, Diary, and honestly, I'm honestly looking forward to taking it slow next week. The National Day of Rest for Black Women is next week, and I will be taking full advantage. Until next time, Diary.